Hi, what an exciting time to be alive on Earth, right? Or in this universe, or in this solar system, or in this galaxy. They all apply. And so we have entered the third quarter of the year. We are now swinging deeply into into the darkness, into the shadows of the cavern within our heart, of our mind, of our intuition. And it is a fertile time on earth. Make no mistake about that. We have crossed into, phew, I have to catch my breath, a very good time to get moving with your essential oils, particularly during this charged um, combination of forces that are coming together at the time of this new moon. I would highly recommend organic essential oils, of course, particularly lavender, to calm the nervous system. There have been scientific research studies conducted on the effects of lavender on the nervous system, and they have been found to be as profoundly calming as some prescription sedatives that are habit forming and ruin your natural response to the environment. And another essential oil that I recommend is mm, rose, also very calming to the emotional body, particularly during a time when the sun and the moon are coming together. Rose scent calms fire and the emotions, the emotional body, particularly at a subconscious level at the new moon, become enlivened. And so you want to have more balance within the nervous system and calm the fires so that you're not feeling like you're jumping out of your skin and you can have more containment of your emotional energy. So I'm going to start with recommendations for this amazing time. Another great um, practice to have at this time is, of course, meditation. And take a pause, take a moment, and for self-reflection. And in the theater of your mind, bring to life that which you want to manifest for the upcoming season as the moon begins to grow in light. So right now, the moon is actually shedding her skin completely. She will be fully shadowed by tomorrow evening. And so on the eastern coastline, you must adjust for your location. And this is a time of incredible fertility, right? Because she has no skin. She's she's fully available, right? And if we get caught up in the minutia, the small things, the triggers and like that, and we have not developed social and emotional competency, then we can easily get caught up in other people's situations because we make them our own. We accept the projection. It's a time when projections can penetrate, right? Unless you're coherent. And the way that we build on that coherence is by taking a step back to calm the nervous system and build our container, right? We know that the skin is not the boundary of our emotional, energetic potential, our field. And so we want to strengthen that. And the way that we do that is through meditation, grabbing a hold of the theater of the mind, right? The world is a stage and it's playing out in here. And so we want to make sure that what's playing out in our mind is none other than that which we want to bring into life. Because as I mentioned in other videos, whatever we put our attention grows in our life. Is a law of physics. This is not woo-woo. We live during a time where quantum quantum science has demonstrated that we live in a participatory universe, and that our energy field and our vision, which is ruled by fire, right? It is born of fire. The element that focuses the energy of sight is fire. And so you want to ensure that whenever you cast your vision, wherever you cast your vision, you're giving life to that which you desire to enliven with more energy. And exercise is a good time. We have Mars in Cancer making aspects to, let me take a look, making aspects to Lilith, the sun, and the South Node at the time of this beautiful, beautiful new beginning. And so, that which is not harnessed will run wild, right? And so imagine that your life is this beautiful golden carriage, and it's being pulled by the five senses, which are symbolic of horses in art, and particularly in the Vedic tradition of India, where we have Krishna and Arjuna on a carriage, a beautiful carriage, and Krishna is leading with the horses, and the horses are symbolic of our senses. Be without the three gunas, or Arjuna, meaning in full dominion of your energetic potential. And so that's alive right now. And so it's super important to grab a hold and calm the nervous system. Chamomile tea, very highly recommended. It's good for the digestive system. It helps to calm the nervous system. And right now you want to have a calm nervous system because Mercury, none other than Mercury, is also in the light of the sun. And so we have a conjunction of several planets at this time, and it's lit. Totally lit. Hello, my name is Sophia. This is your channel. I am Soma, Nectar of the Gods, and so are you. And I'm super excited to have decided to press the record button and get on with this short reading that I'm going to leave here with you today, because it would be, I would feel bad if I did not come on for a few minutes and just give you some pointers for potentially strengthening your purpose, right? This is your purpose. This is all about you. We're speaking about none other than Libra and the tropical zodiac, and Libra is all about diplomacy, charm, contracts, commitments, relationships, associations. And so we want to come out to play at our best. Although the new moon and the eclipse is not necessarily a time for outward movement, it's a time for inner self-reflection. And I really want to stress that, because people are going to start coming out of the woodwork looking for you, whichever your rising, whichever your sun, whichever your moon, because in the tropical zodiac, we are presencing this in the sign of relationship, in the sign that rules relationships, which is the seventh house, and it's in Libra, right? That's the seventh house. Libra is the seventh house, right? So we want to be fully within ourselves and cognizant of what's playing out here, because remember, we're showing up today that's based on activities from the past. We are as coherent as possible as we are right now. We are self-forgiving, we're merciful with ourselves, compassionate, deeply empathetic with all the things that we have been through, and we let it go. And we know self-forgiveness is really, there's a weighing of your heart right now. If we follow the Egyptian tradition, we know that at this time, it was said that there will be a weighing of the heart against the feather, right? And to see the lightness of your own inner balance. And if you're feeling guilty, shame, or any of those emotions based on things that have happened in the past, you're wasting your time. And it's not that you always say, if you're feeling that way, then that needs to be addressed. Because if you're not addressing it, then you're wasting your time. That's really what I meant to say. So we want to be able to unravel those knots in our consciousness that make us feel less deserving than we actually are, because the kingdom of heaven is within you. And this is a time to own that knowledge, right? And to be in a place of peace, inner peace and purpose with your soul is super important right now. Otherwise, you're bringing into the silent night of the year, which happens at the solstice. You're bringing with you the residue of things that have happened in the past. So you need to make a phone call, or you need to, whatever it is that you need to do, maybe you can write it down and burn it. Write it down on a piece of paper and burn. Maybe you can write an email and never send it. Whatever it is, to just put that energy out there and then be in peace with yourself so that you can get going with your life. The new moon is a time of reincarnation and rebirth. Remember that. So you want to transform, and transformation requires change. It requires a transmutation. Otherwise, you're just bringing forward what was in the past, right? So you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to do that. You want to allow your gut feelings to inform you. You want to be quiet inside so that you can hear the still small voice that is your guiding light. Without that inner small voice, we are basically sheeple, following the crowd, doing what everybody else is doing, not really paying attention and listening to our own inner guidance, which is, many people call those angels or guides, or they're always there. They are you are that, right? Takvama si, you are that, you are the micro of the macro. And so the entire universe, if anything changes in the within the universe, it changes within us, because we are an expression of the field of pure potential, which the universe embodies. It's called the Veda. And Veda means knowledge, and knowledge is structured in consciousness. So we want to be clear about our intentions moving forward. We want to be passionate and creative with life. Art is an economic engine. If you want to manifest and bring the wealth and abundance and prosperity that is present always into your life, engage in artful expression, or creative expression in your life, whether that be music, poetry, storytelling, whichever instrument you want to play. You want to whistle, that's fine too. What else can I tell you? Drawing, sketching, painting works for me. Meditation works for me. Yoga asanas, super important. They help to rebalance the nervous system by stimulating specific glands within the physiology so that they can secrete the hormones that your body needs to remain at peace. You have to let go of that energy. You have to cast the skin aside of what has been. Today, particularly, a great time for rituals. Fantastic. Burn a candle. If you light a candle and you stare at it, it'll purify your nervous system. It'll help you to see more clearly. It'll help to burn away the toxicity that has accumulated since, my goodness, since the springtime, because we're not closing the season, right? The season of growth anyway. And so think not of yesterday or tomorrow, be present. Today, the now. That's all there is. Let me go to the chart. So at the time of the eclipse, new moon, amazing. The annular solar eclipse, the ring of fire will be present in South America below the equator. We will not see it so much in the northern United States. I believe Madagascar, towards the South Pole. And by the way, the sun just rose in the South Pole for the first time since March, enlivening the underbelly. Take a moment to consider that and what that might mean for you. We have an amazing, amazing water trine. So I was saying previously, Mars is in a aspect of incredible opportunity. Mars, the spiritual warrior, impulsive life force, the surgeon with the scalpel, ready to excise whatever no longer is serving you because of your will. You must activate your will. What is it that you're ready to let go of? And this is pruning season. I know in the Northeast, when I lived there, I had a garden, and this was the time where you begin to prune back the hedges and cut down flowering plants and all of that so that it can go back to the seed stage as we begin to approach the winter season or the solstice point, right? And so we're in the fall, and if you're in the Northeast and many other places on Earth that experience this change of season during a fall, there is a change, a transmutation that is happening all around us. The temperatures are dipping a little bit. We are going to have an Indian summer. Jupiter finds itself closer than it normally is, and Jupiter's a gas giant. And so the temperatures, the climate is going to remain in that Indian summer type of weather in the Northeast. So they may attribute that to, the global warming, but it's a natural event that's occurring because we live in a solar system that is connected to all these planets that have an impact on life on Earth. Okay, back to Mars. Mars is in relationship with Lilith. Lilith, the divine feminine, the independent warriors. She's not a warrior or warrioress. I think I just made up that word. But anyway, you get my point, right? This goddess has a great opportunity to shine her light in this aspect of you. The goddess within all of us, the divine feminine within everyone, has an opportunity here to uplift the feminine aspect of the divine within the expression of your own life for the purpose of reclaiming it from its vulnerable position out that keeps the feminine exploited, subjugated, abused, violated, all those things, and shamed. This is a time to uplift that presence in your life, whatever that means to you. This is the time to do that. She is receiving an opportunity, the will and strength of Mars to shine, to break free, to shed the skin of all these negative attributes that have been placed on that archetype. It is also in that opportunity aspect with the sun, giving us the wherewithal to place our attention within the realm of experiences in terms of our emotional body of where we want to be. And the South Node, karmic relationships they're being enlivened. They're coming. This is when the stage set changes. We're drawing a curtain on the stage of our life, and when the stage reappears, things will have been rearranged. And because it's the annular eclipse, right? So this is a full shift. This is as if there was a transformation that's taking place. And these changes that are happening, many of them, we have the control that we had in previous lives to lead the life of our greatest and our best. And wherever we forfeited that's coming back because the postman always delivers, right? And so you are going to be called to show up in the realm, in the third dimensional space in a different way, and to be aware of what's showing up at your doorstep, because it will be on your doorstep. So prepare for whatever's coming. And the way we prepare is by preparing our internal body so it can take care of the external. The outer reflects the inner. So you want to be clear inside about where you're going, where you are, where's your focus. Mars in that position in Cancer gives us an opportunity to, it's like fire in the water, and it doesn't always get doused. It doesn't always get extinguished. It's up to you to keep it alive, to really prioritize your spiritual essence, your spiritual body, so that you can keep that fire going. You have an opportunity in alignment with Mercury, the moon, Lilith, the sun, and the south node. They're all conjunct. This is phenomenal. Not only that, you can enliven the warrior spirit within. Not only that, Mercury is also there. Mercury, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Mercury represents Ganesh in the Eastern system of knowledge, in the Vedic system. And so Mercury is very well placed in the Eastern chart at this time. In the Western chart, tropical zodiac, the chart that I am reading right now, Mercury would be within a 2-degree orb, almost exactly at the heart of the sun. Lilith exactly at the heart of the sun. The moon at the heart of the sun. Ketu, or the south node of the moon, also with the sun. So this combination, amalgamation of energy can wreak havoc on your nervous system if you're abusing your body, your nervous system. Not a time for escapism, not a time to burn the candle on both ends. It's a time to really take care of this, the kingdom of heaven is within you, right? So you want to take care of the kingdom of heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is an activation. There are activation points within the physical structure, within the nervous system, that respond to the forces of nature in our solar system. So we have Mercury, the moon, ruling our emotions. We have Mercury in the nervous system. We have the sun, our attention, right? Our focus. We have that underlying stirring at the depth of our creative spirit, beneath the solar plexus, the sacral center, the secret center, right? We have an activation there with the south node also being enlivened. So we really want to pay attention to where we're going. There is the trine. It is a water trine that is taking place between Mars, Saturn, and Venus, giving us an opportunity to create structures that will have lasting value, foundational in our life. Don't throw away this opportunity. Pay attention to yourself. Write, journal. With Mercury being highlighted, Mercury is the author, Mercury is the communicator, Mercury is the merchant. And anyway, media, technology, blogging, podcasting, communication in all its forms is highlighted right now. Protect your space. Listen to the inner message that you're receiving. Do not be dissuaded by sensationalism. Go within, be still and quiet. Another aspect that is phenomenal is the ongoing sextile that we have with the transpersonal planets, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces, and Pluto in Capricorn. Ooh, this is transpersonal, transgenerational. This is a shift, an opportunity to change your life forever. And some of these changes may not are going to take place without your permission because they're karmic, right? In this karma, I don't want to use karma out of context. Karma simply means action. They are these changes that are because they're transpersonal, they're taking place for all of humanity, right? They're generational, so they're generational shifts. For example, those born in the 80s had a combination of Uranus and Pluto, I believe, in Libra, and so, or in Scorpio. So those people are here to transform the way, I think it's in Libra, the way that they do relationship, right? So it's generational, and that may be, those are, I believe, the millennials. And then we have Generation X and Generation Y, and so, as we know, we just had Pluto in Capricorn for a total of 16 years. So you can just imagine those that are born after this alignment, after the alignment will, that will impact everybody born within a 16-year period of time. So that's super important to bear in mind, right? So groups of people all over the earth are shifting in their thinking and are appreciating, are awakening, are leaving outmoded ways of living, and they are beginning to see more deeply into the realm and are beginning to tear down the structures, because remember, Saturn is in Pisces, and Pisces, you have to become the container, right? It's not easy to build in water unless you freeze it, right? If you freeze it, you have a structure. And when you freeze water, you also have coherence. So it's super important to pay attention to these nuances that inform a process that we are engaging in, whether we know it or not. This trine with Pluto just went back into Capricorn. Pluto went back into Capricorn to bring something into your life. So what is scarier, not having or accepting? Are you a giver or a receiver? And how do you strike balance between those two? Because you're being called to strike a balance there. You can't give, because then you become empty. You have to receive too. And some people don't like to receive because they feel unworthy, or because they feel like, no, I'm the one, I'm the alpha here. And so I give. And, you need to strike a balance between those two. That is what harmonious living is all about. And it's about establishing a balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine presence within each of us. The water trine is a blessing because it's bringing together desire and magnetic attraction, right? Desire being expressed here by the principle of the spiritual warrior and the magnetism of Venus to attract what it wants instead of chasing after it. And the structure, remember, the structure need not be a solid structure on Earth. It can be a literal conceptualization or a framework that you create within your own imagination about the way things are going to be in your life, the way things are in your life, how you want to move forward, those structures that will support you, and that requires clarity. Because Neptune is at the peak of this sextile relationship that brings the three transpersonal, transformative planets that, Pluto doesn't take no for an answer. Uranus is what? It's your lightning-like genius. And Neptune rules the waters of consciousness. So you have an opportunity here to really seize and create something completely brand new moving forward. That is a gift. We have Guru going retrograde on the, I wrote it down somewhere. I believe that it's on the 11th. No, on the 11th, we have, um, okay, on the 8th, we have Jupiter going retrograde. So Jupiter's going back to bring something, to bring you a gift. How beautiful is that? And the gift is associated with the house that is turning back to, that is retrograding, the one behind. So right now it's in Jupiter, it's in Gemini, and it's retrograding. So it'll begin to move back into, as if going back into Taurus. It's not going to reach Taurus, but it'll be something concrete. It'll be something tangible. It'll be something creative. It could be romance. It could, depending on the house. If it's the 5th house, then it will be romance. If you have Taurus in the 4th house, it could be a change of home. If it's in the 3rd house, it could meaning Taurus. If it's in your 3rd house, then it could mean a change of the way that you communicate. It could be a change of vehicles. It could be a change regarding, maybe you'll start something new online, maybe, some new way to communicate with the public, web-based. If it's the 2nd house, it could be a new source of money. It could be a reinvention of yourself if it's in your 1st house. If Taurus is your 12th house, it could be, Jupiter may be bringing something new related to clandestine relationships. The 12th house is always a little tricky because it could be self-undoing, and it could be self-imprisonment, and it could be the structures that we build around us to keep others out, or to keep out that which, it's a closed off, and stagnation is not good. So we want to remain dynamic, and that's super important. So that's something good to watch out for. If it's the 11th house, is the house of gains. So perhaps a new opportunity to make money in some respect that is going to bring you more notoriety with the masses. If it's in the 10th house, it's your career. If that's where Taurus is placed, if it's in the 10th house, it's your career. And if it's in the 9th house, it's a new spiritual dimension to life, possibly involving higher education, whether that is listening to your guides or actually attending an institution of higher learning. If it's your 8th house, it could mean esoteric occult studies. It could also mean hidden enemies, and like that, and which are born in our own mind. The enemies exist within, so you have to clear that, right? It could also mean research and investigation into occult studies, and that will be amazing. And if it's in the 7th house, then it's bringing in new relationships, associations, contracts, and commitments. Okay, so I just went through all the houses that where Taurus could potentially be placed, where Jupiter is now moving towards, as it goes retrograde in Gemini, it is bringing its attention to Taurus, and that's how it's going to light up the different Taurus in the different houses, in the tropical zodiac. Okay, so, and Pluto is going direct, and Pluto is going direct on the 11th. It's going to station direct on the 11th. Mark that date on your calendar. That is a laser sharp essence, force of nature that is here to pierce through the lies that you have told yourself about your ability to own your power. It's about power struggles, giving away your power, like that. This is highlighted during this period. This is the time to claim your power, because once Pluto goes direct, remember, Pluto will be leaving the sign of Capricorn, I believe, on November 4th, just around Election Day. And it'll be moving into Aquarius. So Our attention is on innovation, genius, change, humanity. What can we do different? How can we show up in a different way? Where we, how do we harness this incredible electrical apparatus that is our physiology? Our brain communicates via electrical synapses. That's the neurobiology. Go figure, right? So builds new networks of connections every time you have a new experience. What can I even say about that? What experiences are you bringing into your life to solidify some new networks and connections that are beneficial instead of falling into that random hole in the ground and repeating patterns of behavior that no longer serve you? You have the power to reclaim your sovereignty. Do that now. Don't waste your time. If you haven't been doing that, there's no time like the present to begin. Let the past be the past. Remember, we only presence for the present is all we have, right? Who knows what's going to happen whenever we're living our best life today. Live every day as if this is the last day. And that way you'll always be in the now. I like that. Those who want to see the future have to create it. That's not exactly how the quote goes, but it's something like that. And I don't know who to attribute that quote to because I've seen it. I've seen that it's attributed to different people. So I'm going to say anonymous, but those who want to know the future have to create it. And we know that we're creating it with the thoughts we think, the feelings we feel, and the actions that we're taking in the realm of the third dimension and with our own thinking. Clear, detoxify. This is a great time for fasting. Drink lots of water. This is an oracle message. I am simply sharing what is showing up in my own spirit and in my own heart and in my own nervous system and in my own experience. And I hope that it resonates as truth for some of you and that you will take this heartfelt oracle message to heart as you move into the eclipse. The eclipse is not a time to play after the eclipse. It'll be great to just clean up your space during and after. Just clean up everything. Great time for downsizing, a minimalist approach to life. Travel light. Have you heard Bag Lady by Erykah Badu? I love that song. Where are you going with all those bags? Leave it behind, move forward, expect the best, and you'll manifest it. Okay, I'm going to go now. I think that's what I also want to say that in the Eastern zodiac, zodiacal wheel or map of the heavens at the time, Mercury happens to be exalted. Not only exalted, but Mercury is in its own office, its multricone, and it's in a very beneficial nakshatra. This event brings a comet into our nervous system that is going to be rising with the eclipse in the morning of the day of the eclipse, right? That morning, it'll be visible. Comets, they say, portend news. No, it's not that they portend it. It's just that it's an energetic frequency that has not been in orbit in our solar system for over 83 years, 85, 83. The last time that it was present in our solar system was back in 1939. 1939 set up the stage for World War. What does that mean? I don't know. Global events take place because the energy is expressed through consciousness, right? Of which we're all a part. A part of consciousness, an expression of consciousness, an expression of the creative intelligence. The event is happening in the womb of the Virgin Virgo. There's a giving birth to something on a global scale that is taking shape as a fetus would during this time in our life. The higher your vibration, the better, so that you don't get caught in the undertow of the emotional waves that are going to rise in everyone with a water trine. Remember, Saturn is the taskmaster. Mars, however, is exalted in the sign of Capricorn that Saturn rules. There's an opportunity here. It's a trine relationship. Venus is exalted, but Saturn is exalted in the sign that Venus rules. So Mars is exalted in Capricorn, Venus, Saturn, Mars is exalted in Capricorn, Saturn is exalted in Libra. And they're communicating these three. Great opportunity to build something fantastic. Tap into what you really desire, enliven those beautiful thoughts in the theater of your mind so that you can bring that to the light of day as we travel through the shadow phase on Earth as we move to the solstice point. In the Eastern zodiac also, the third begins the 3 days of Mother Divine, the goddess in all her personifications as Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Lalita, and the 9 expressions. Those 9 days begin on the third. Hold them in your heart. Engage in an activity where you are in gratitude with Mother Earth and her creative potential, creative intelligence, Shakti, Devata. And when you know something, when you're thinking about something, that Devata value of consciousness, you want to infuse it with the most life-giving force of your heart and magnetize your desires. Venus. Oh, okay, that's it. Much love to all of you. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I can't wait to come back and speak to you again after this time. Again, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Mercury is lit. Pay attention. All love. Bye-bye. Let me see if I can find the button. Take good care. Oh my God. Thank you. Bye.